Hello everyone, this is Siham from the Research and Development Department in Market Equity, and in this video I'm going to be talking about some of the important pairs and their price movement predictions for the day, which falls on Wednesday, 13th of October 2021. Let's begin with the euro versus the US dollar, where in the previous videos we said that in the daily time frame it is moving in a downtrend. However, if we notice the most recent movement upon the rebounding downwards off of around level 1.1640, we can see that it is not as strong as the previous downwards movement, which gives us a sign that there might be an upwards correctional movement, which, in that case, will continue to retest the horizontal resistance area between levels 1.1640 and 1.1665, and if extended beyond these levels will continue to retest 1.17 before rebounding downwards off of around these levels to continue with the downtrend in the daily time frame and the targeting of around level 1.1490 as a primary target in the downtrend. If we notice the RSI indicator in the daily time frame, then we can see that by rebounding upwards off of around level 30 from inside the oversold area, it supports the probability of rebounding upwards off of around the current levels in order to correct before continuing with the downtrend. If we notice the 4-hour time frame, then we can see that the pair is also moving in a downtrend and has formed a downwards channel previously, where, after failing to hold below level 1.1530 and forming a false break, it is currently being traded around the upper boundary of the downwards channel, and by rebounding downwards off of it and breaking down through level 1.1530 will support the continuity of the current downtrend in the 4-hour time frame, as well as the targeting of around level 1.1490 as we said. However, due to the false break formed and due to the clear divergence that has shown after the price formed lower lows and the RSI has formed higher lows, we can say that there is a probability of an upwards correctional movement as we said in the daily time frame, which will only be confirmed upon the breaking upwards to level 1.1585, and in that case, like we said, will continue to retest the horizontal resistance area in the 4-hour time frame between levels 1.1640 and 1.1665, and if extended or if the pair breaks upwards to level 1.1665, then the upwards correctional movement will extend to retest around level 1.17 before rebounding down and continuing with the downtrend in the 4-hour time frame. If we notice the RSI indicator in the 4-hour time frame, then we can see that by moving around level 50, it supports the probability of rebounding downwards off of around the current levels in order to continue with the overall downtrend. That was it for the euro versus the US dollar. Let's move on to the New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar. As we mentioned in the previous videos, the pair is moving in a downtrend in the 4-hour time frame inside the overall sideways movement in the daily time frame, and recently we can see that after forming a new higher low than the previous one, which was around level 0.6860, the pair started moving in a sideways movement which took the shape of a symmetrical triangle in the 4-hour time frame. And as we know, the symmetrical triangle is meant to continue the trend. Therefore, we can say that after rebounding downwards off of around the upper boundary of the symmetrical triangle in the 4-hour time frame, as well as rebounding downwards off of the downtrend line in the 4-hour time frame, it is safe to say that the pair is now targeting around level 0.69, which is the lower boundary of the symmetrical triangle in the 4-hour time frame, and by breaking downwards through it will support the continuity of the overall downtrend in the 4-hour time frame, which will extend to target 0.6860 once again, and will support the continuity of the overall sideways movement in the daily time frame, which will then continue to target around level 0.6820. If we notice the 1-hour time frame, then we can see that the pair has also broken down through the uptrend line formed previously and retested it, then continued to rebound downwards off of it, which further supports the continuity of the current sideways movement in the 4-hour time frame, which will continue to target around level 0.69. If we notice the RSI indicator in the 4-hour time frame, then we can see that by rebounding downwards off of around level 60 and by moving around level 50, it supports the continuity of the overall downtrend. One thing to note is that by breaking upwards to level 0.6980, it will cancel the downward scenario and will then support the probability of forming a new uptrend in the 4-hour time frame. However, by holding below this level, then we are still moving in a sideways movement inside the overall downtrend in the 4-hour time frame. That was it for the New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar. Let's move on to the British pound versus the Japanese yen. In the previous videos, we said that the pair is moving in a sideways movement in the daily time frame in the form of a symmetrical triangle, and recently we can see that after breaking upwards to the upper boundary of the symmetrical triangle, as well as breaking upwards to level 153.45, the pair has started an uptrend in the daily time frame, where by breaking upwards to level 153.45, which resembled a horizontal resistance level for the pair in the daily time frame, It supports the continuity of the current uptrend and the targeting of around level 156. Then, around level 157.75 as primary targets in the current uptrend in the daily time frame. If we notice the RSI indicator in the daily time frame, then we can see that by moving around level 70 near the overbought area, it supports the probability of rebounding downwards off of around the current levels, which in that case will continue to retest around level 153.45 and, if extended, will continue to retest the broken upper boundary of the symmetrical triangle in the daily time frame. Let's move to the 4-hour time frame, where we can see that upon breaking upwards to level 153.45, which as we said was the horizontal resistance level for the pair in the 4-hour time frame as well as the daily time frame, and is currently a horizontal support level for it in the 4-hour time frame and the daily time frame, the buyer's power has started seeing opposition from the seller's power, and due to that, it supports the probability of rebounding downwards off of around the current levels, in order to correct towards around level 153.45 as we said, and since it is a horizontal support level for the pair in the 4-hour time frame, it is expected to rebound upwards off of it, and by rebounding upwards off of it, or off of around the broken upper boundary of the symmetrical triangle in the daily time frame as we said, it will support the continuity of the current uptrend in the 4-hour time frame as well as the daily time frame, due to these two levels being a support area for the pair in the 4-hour time frame as well as the daily time frame. If we notice the RSI indicator in the 4-hour time frame, then we can see that by moving around level 70 inside the overbought area, it supports the probability of rebounding downwards off of around the current levels in order to correct before continuing with the uptrend. That was it for the British pound versus the Japanese yen. Market Equity wishes you successful trading and have a nice day.